Ladies and gentlemen, here it is, the most listened to radio show on the planet. Even the other stations are tuned in too.
You're listening to Business Talk Radio, where we take business to the next level.
And welcome back to the show. Tom Marino joins us here once again. He is the owner of his own company. He's a life coach called Monarch Life Coaching. Welcome back to the show. He's an author and, well, so much more. Please introduce yourself to our listeners.
Thank you, Jill. I'm Tom Marino. I am a life coach. I've been working as a life coach for the last couple of years. Prior to that, I practiced medicine as a physician assistant and have been working in healthcare administration for the last dozen years. This new endeavor of being a life coach is something that I just absolutely love doing, love working with people, and started Monarch Life Coaching 2 years ago to really help people become empowered and change their lives the way they want to live.
Great. Now, would you mind giving us a little more details of your background? Because you did start off in the healthcare field. Explain what happened and how you made this transition.
Sure. So I was in a job working as a vice president of operations and healthcare administration about 4 years ago now. And I left that job, went to another job that was an opportunity to move up and to be a chief operating officer. And within 60 days of that job, I said, nope, this is not for me. This is not what I want to do. Mm-hmm. This is not who I am. And I very quickly made a decision, had never taken a risk like that before, to leave something after just 60 days and had nothing to go to. So it was one of those things where I just took the bull by the horns and said, you know what, I'm miserable. I'm not happy. I got to make a change. And I started my own consulting company. And one of my clients that I had about 9 months into the arrangement, I wrote my own job description for a job that I hold today. And I said, wow, I said, if I could do this, so can other people. Yeah. And that's really what changed my whole mindset to really believing in the power of positive thinking, moving forward and creating the reality you want for yourselves. And I wanted to help other people who were successful and are successful people to, feel that they can make a change in their life and they can step out on that limb and take a huge risk for themselves, and it's all going to be okay. Yeah. And that's really what brought me to where I am today.
And your parents are both very positive role models to you as well, right?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, my mom and dad always taught me you could do whatever you want to do, and they always supported that. And that's where it comes from. But paving your own way is something that is really important, and not waiting for opportunity to come to you, but going after the opportunity. And I think that's what I try to show my clients when we work together. I work with a lot of people who are extremely successful, and sometimes they get stuck and they don't realize that they do have more options. And it's really about going after the options, which brings the opportunity.
All right. So what type of people do you work with as a life coach? Are you talking about people that are in transition of a new career, of a new job, or in general? There's so many different things that people could be coached with. So give me your specialties and areas of expertise, if you don't mind.
So the main tagline I use is I work with high achievers to lever the power of their choice and achieve the goals that they want and create the balance that they want in their life. So I work with a variety of people. I work with healthcare professionals. I work with CEO of a hedge fund. I have a real estate investor as a client. I've worked with an SVP of a bank. I've worked with all senior level people who have gotten to this point in their career where they're like, okay, I'm in my 40s or 50s. I've achieved this great success. Now what do I do? Right? Yeah. So it's either they're going to change jobs, they're going to decide to change careers, they're going to start their own business. I wind up working with a lot of people who like to start something on the side, right? So I have a lot of people with an entrepreneurial spirit that work with me as well. And I think that's part of what the energy that I put out there as a coach, you usually get back what you put out. And, I work with a lot of people who are like me, who were stuck, needed to do something different, decided to start my own business, still work, in some capacity, but look at my job as the means to an end. and the opportunity that it provides me to do what I'm doing right now. And that's the type of people I think I attract most of the time. And healthcare workers are, I've worked with a few nurses. I currently have a pediatric resident that I'm working with, and I'm trying to, really expand and be there now for people who are experiencing forms of burnout, right? That's really what's happening
Oh,
now in
right.
the
This
world.
whole year, let's talk about the pandemic and COVID-19 in the healthcare business. Talk
Yeah.
about burnout. Those doctors, those nurses, those frontline workers really must be sick and want to change.
Absolutely. People, there's, everyone, when you go into healthcare, you go in with the intention to help people to make a difference. And some people will turn around and have turned around to some of my clients and said, well, you signed up for this.
Yeah.
And the response is no, we didn't sign up. As a healthcare professional, we did not sign up for a pandemic. We
Yeah.
did not sign up for the every hospital bed being changed into a COVID bed. We didn't sign up for those things. And when what your core values are and what you signed up for changes and shifts that alignment for you, that's when you start to experience some of the challenges of still continuing to work in the field that you work in. And that's what's happening right now to a lot of healthcare workers. I think you're going to see a lot happen once the pandemic slows down a bit.
Got it. And also, I just want to point out here, as far as you, I'm reading this, ready? You were, one of your clients recently described that you provide much needed validation that you don't get in your day-to-day life from the people you are surrounded by. As a coach, you provide the fresh perspective in an objective, non-judgmental way. That's beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That came from one of my clients, excuse me, and she really said, this is value, this is validation that I don't get in my daily life. And that's what a coach is really there for. As a coach, we are here to help people gain perspective in a very calm, very sacred, very judgment-free place. And I try to give all of my clients that confidence to know that what we discuss, I am not forming any judgment. I am here to support the changes that you want to make in your life and help facilitate by asking some questions, sometimes some really deep and powerful questions that really get you to think. But you're not going to get that from your friends. Your friends may say, oh, do it this way, or no, don't do that. And they may give you that judgmental because they're afraid of doing it, right?
Yeah.
And that's what a coach serves. And when I heard her say that to me, I was like, wow, that is so powerful and such a perfect summary of what we do as coaches and how I'm able to help people to be in a judgment-free zone to make the changes that they want to make.
Great. And you know what? I find it amazing. I mean, you think you have a career goal, you think you know what you want in life, and once you get there, it's kind of not what you expected, right? It's like that Miley Cyrus song, It's the Climb. You don't really appreciate it along the way. You just get there and then you think that's it. And then it's like, wow, I want something more. I want something different. So it's amazing. What do you think happens mentally, to people who are, trying to get where they want to go? What's going on in their mind? And then once they get there, they're not really happy. What is that usually about?
Well, it goes along with that frame of mind of I'll be happy when. I'll be happy when I get married. I'll be happy when I find that job. I'll be happy when I'm making six figures. I'll be happy when I'm the vice president. I'll be happy when I'm in charge of the company. And we're always striving for that I'll be happy when. And when we reach that when we reach that place, we realize, uh-oh, what's next? I'm not happy, right? And I've missed the whole journey.
Yeah.
I've missed the whole journey. And that's what I really try to emphasize with my clients is be present in this moment. Be present in the here and the now and focus and understand that you're right where you're supposed to be right here, right now. This is what you have. You don't have tomorrow. You don't have 5 years from now. You only have this present moment. And if you focus on the present moment and focus on being present, that's when you're going to find some happiness because it's about the journey. It's not always about the end goal. And a lot of us that, have achieved success and have risen in companies and have been promoted and done very well for ourselves, it's always been with that mindset of, I'll be happy when, instead of just be happy right now. Be grateful for what you have right now and put everything out in gratitude and be happy now that you have what you have and appreciate the current moment. appreciate now.
Got it. Well, thank you. And also want to talk about the book that I see there, Bridge to Change. Tell
Mhm.
us a little bit about what inspired you to write this and what it's all about.
Right. So when I first started working out with clients, I felt myself repeating myself over and over and going through the process and explaining the process. And I say, you know what? I just have to memorialize what my process is, right? So the book is really it's not meant to just sell. It's meant to be like a manual for people who work with me, right? It's a 10-chapter book, and each step in the book, each chapter in the book is accompanied by my online coaching program that I
Okay.
use with clients who become clients of mine. And each chapter is really about the process of going through discovering yourself, really understanding what your values are, and then how to successfully implement change in your life that is sustainable. You know, a lot of people, Jill, feel that they have to make these dramatic changes, right? Oh, I have to lose 20 pounds. I have to lose 40 pounds, right? I
Yeah.
have to make X amount of money, right? I have to do this or do that. And we lose focus sometimes that change doesn't have to be this huge thing. Change could be a very small thing. And when it's made in small increments, that's when it becomes more sustainable, right?
Yeah.
Don't change something so dramatic that you can't sustain it. It's why people have dramatic weight loss and then go back to eating and they gain their weight back, right? When people decide that they're going to quit smoking and they try to quit cold turkey, and then a couple of months later, they're back to smoking a pack or 2 packs a day, right? It's because we have these ideas that abstinence, refraining from what it is we're supposed to be doing,
Want, yes.
that's the only way. And in healthcare and working where I work in Harlem now, I work for a housing and healthcare organization,
Oh,
and we work with a lot of substance using population, and we practice a model of harm reduction. And harm reduction is all about meeting people where they are on their journey, right? So we offer syringes to people who use heroin, so they have clean needles to use. And we try to really meet people where they are in their substance use. And I have tried to employ that model of harm reduction everywhere that I've gone. I've tried to employ it with my clients. We all have some kind of addiction. We all are. Maybe we're addicted to sugar. Maybe we're addicted to chocolate. Maybe we're addicted to exercise. Maybe we're addicted to our careers, right? And sometimes when we have that kind of addiction, we lose sight of what we're really here and meant to be doing. And if we as coaches, specifically as coaches, if we meet our clients where they are and help them to make a small change, to get back to reality and to slow down a bit, we can have some substantial impact on their life. In the forward to my book, one of my best friends wrote the forward, and he's not just a friend, but he was one of my quote unquote test clients, right?
mhm.
He and I would travel into Manhattan every day together, and he would go onto his email while we were on the train, while we were having conversation or whatnot, because he wanted to check to see what was ahead of him for the day. And it was stressing him out. And I could see every day he would get more and more stressed that as he did this routine. I said to him, why don't you just wait till you get into work to check your work emails? Why don't you just enjoy the ride that we have and the opportunity we have to spend together to talk and do whatever and not think about work? And it changed his whole perspective. He set that small boundary. He created a small change of just stopping his emails, and it changed how he got his day started. It changed his whole perspective on his day.
Yeah.
It wasn't a big thing. It was a small, just don't check your emails till you get into the office, right? But that's what I'm talking about. Meet people where they are. See what's stressing them out and try to make that small adjustment and change. That's the goal, is small incremental changes. And that's what the book really goes into detail of, how to create those boundaries, how to identify the small changes that you want to make, and then how to sustain those changes going forward. So that's really what I wrote the book for, was to help people that maybe aren't clients of mine, but to help them make small changes and see that change is possible and that it doesn't have to be this dramatic big thing.
Got it. Well, good. Well, where can we find the book? How can we get a hold of it?
Sure. So there's two ways. You could visit the book's website at bridgetochange.book.com,
Okay.
or you can go on Amazon and look for Bridge to Change Tom Marino, and it'll pop up, and buy it on Amazon.
Great. And at this time of the show, we got to take our quick commercial break. So give us
Absolutely.
all forms and the best forms of contact for you, please.
All right, sure. So the best form is to text and call me at 516-588-0750, or you can reach out to me and fill out a contact form at monarchlifecoaching.com.
Perfect. And also on social media, how do we find you? Is it under your
Social media, I'm on
Twitter?
Facebook under Tom Marino Monarch Life Coaching, Instagram at Monarch Life Coaching, and on Twitter, Life Monarch. That's my signature on Twitter, Life Monarch.
Perfect. All right. We're going to take a very quick commercial break because we're also doing our live Zoom as well as the radio. So stand by. We'll be right back.
Hey, road cyclist, do you want a real adventure? How about a week-long vacation in Tuscany or Lake Como, Italy? Cyclobella Italia tours are so much more than just great cycling. Come and enjoy not only cycling, but all the best in food, wine, sightseeing, and la dolce vita in Italy. Go to the website, cyclobellaitalia.com, to register for the Cyclobella Italia newsletter, filled with interesting information about Italy and the tours. Visit the website to view the photo gallery of prior tours and learn more about the fantastic cycling experience with Cyclobella Italia. Email Joe at cyclobellaitalia.com or phone 480-353-6660. Cyclobella Italia. Ride, eat, drink, live.
Ladies and gentlemen, here it is, the most listened to radio show on the planet. Even the other stations are tuned in too.
You're listening to In the Spotlight with Jill Nicolini on Business Talk Radio, where we take your business to the next level. MonarchLifeCoaching.com is the website. We're talking to the founder, owner, and the coach, Tom Marino himself. And during the break, I was just on his website here, and I urge you all to do the same. This is a great video. Hello, you're a family guy talking about how you can help people. It's very impactful. Wow.
Thank you. Wow.
This is you. This is great.
Yeah, so I put together, actually, someone reached out to me from that does promo reels, and she was getting, like, I do active promo reels. Her name is Kathleen Cho. She's fantastic. She does write reels now, and she is awesome. She worked with me. We did a whole bunch of segments. I gave her some footage of me working with clients, and during COVID, we wanted to show how you can continue to still work, and build your business. And it was really a great thing, and I use that now on the website. So it's
Beautiful.
great. And I have pictures of my family, and you can see my kids in there and my wife. And listen, because I'm like everybody else. I have a wife, a kid. I have those same struggles that every dad has in America, of trying to be the best father and be there for your kids. And that's what it's all about, and being there for your family.
Wonderful. So let's say someone out here is interested in using you as a coach. They'll give you a call. Is there a free type of discovery call session to see if you're a good fit, and vice versa? Let's go over how it works.
Sure, fantastic. So I offer to everyone who would like the opportunity to potentially work with me, and I use the word potentially work with me because not everyone is a fit. Some people, we have to connect energetically. We have to be in the same zone. We have to be in the same place where I can really sense your motivation and know that I can help you. So I meet with everyone for a 30-minute telephone call or a Zoom call if people want to meet face-to-face. In this day and age of meeting people on the internet, people want to see who they're talking to, and is this a real person? Is this a true experience? So I try to schedule everyone for a 30-minute complimentary call. There's no strings attached, no nothing. I tell people all the time, if we only get to spend this 30 minutes together, then that would be great. And if I can make an impact in that 30 minutes and have an impact on your life forever, then I've done my job and served my purpose as a coach.
Got it.
So when people come on as clients, I typically work with people for no less than 3 months at a time. My basic package that I work with people starts for a 12-week period because change takes time. When I first started out, I would meet with people for a month or 2 months, and I really didn't see the progress that we needed to see, and said, you know what, I've got to go with a 3-month. And that has seemed to be the huge springboard to really helping people begin making the change. So the first 4 weeks of that 12 weeks are really about building a foundation, really peeling back that onion, right?
Yep.
It's the first 4 chapters of the book, going through that discovery and that self-exploration and creating the goals that you want to, achieve for yourself. And that the goal setting is what becomes the foundation of our coaching sessions. And those coaching sessions then happen over the subsequent 8 weeks when the first 4 sessions are completed. And
so that means, is it one session a week then? Could you
yes, it's one session a week.
For how long do you meet with them for? Or
Right.
is it all virtual at this point, or is it?
Yeah, it's all virtual. I still have not given up my office in Belmore, but I'm considering it. But it has moved completely virtual. I reach all people all across the country. I have a very large base in Texas. Texas and I seem to get along really well, even though I'm right here on Long Island. I have several clients out on the West Coast, and a ton from locally and from the Northeast. And it's all on Zoom, right? So what happens is each week we will meet for 1 hour over Zoom, have a Zoom conversation, because what I want my clients to do in between our sessions is really focus on the work that's in the coaching program and in the coaching modules. And every client gets access to those coaching modules. I record every conversation because a lot of times these epiphanies happen, and I love having that moment recorded so somebody can go back and listen to that experience. I offer people a call in between our sessions every week and unlimited text, because I want my clients to be able to reach me when they're struggling, when those moments occur that they're working on something. We may not have a meeting for another 3 or 4 days, but change happens in those moments. Significant change can happen at that time. So I want them to reach out to me so I can help them at that moment. And I have a lot of clients that take advantage of that. And we work through some major stuff in that 15 to 30 minutes that we have that phone call when they're really struggling. And it's a great opportunity to make the change now than wait till speaking to me in a couple of days.
Beautiful. Now, are these all one-on-one, or do you do any group type of coaching sessions too?
So I'm about to launch a group coaching program in January. Yes, it's called a Metamorphosis Mastermind. It's really geared towards young professionals. I met up with a young guy out in California who does a lot of skills and life training for teenagers and young adults. And he and I hooked up on LinkedIn, and we decided to start this program. We've got to get some advertising out, but basically it's for young professionals, specifically ages 23 to 30, that are either having challenges acclimating to life in the workforce, not sure what their direction is in life, and we're going to work through some of those stuff. So we do offer that right now. That's the only group coaching opportunity that I offer. I work mostly one-on-one with people, but I've also have worked with some couples, either together or separate, working on helping each of them work on themselves so that they can work on improving their relationship. And again, these are high achievers who are struggling, because remember, when you start to burn out, when you start to have that stress from work, and you start to feel that fatigue, your relationships suffer, you suffer. So it's one of those things where if you're working on you and you're having trouble in your relationships, it's a great opportunity to say, let's work on this together.
Yeah.
And I've worked with some people in that capacity as well.
And is it just yourself, or is there other coaches that are a part of Monarch?
Right now, it's just me.
Okay.
Right now, it's just me. It's my vision down the line to have other coaches working with me using, the methods and the models that I've developed. And, I'll be working with my partner out in California on the group coaching mastermind. But other than that, right now, it's just me.
And tell us about the name Monarch Life Coaching. How did you come up with that?
So I love the monarch butterfly, and I love the meaning of the word monarch. And when I was thinking about how do I explain transformation and the experience of coaching, and you think of the ugliness of people's lives sometimes, and the things that people are struggling with, and they're not their best version of themselves. It's kind of like being that caterpillar, right? And you go into the cocoon and you come out because you've done the work and the growth in that cocoon to become this beautiful butterfly. And that's the symbol of transformation. You know, butterflies and dragonflies are symbols of transformation. And the monarch butterfly, I just love the brilliance of its colors and the transformation it represents. And monarch, you know, when we think of monarchs, we think of kings and queens, right?
Yeah.
So monarch is also about being the king and queen of your life, and being the ruler of your life, and not letting anybody make decisions for you, and empower yourself. So it has a double meaning.
Yeah.
And I really love that, you know, and when people see what I've written about that and they go, wow, that's so cool that you just put those two things together. And I go, it's just about the transformation. It's about the transformation from this ugliness that exists. And then you really are the ruler of your life. You really become in control of your life through your transformation. And that's what it's all about.
All right, so King Tom Marino, I'm going to call you from now on. Author, Bridge to Change. Again, we can find it on Amazon. We can find it on your website. And what's the exact book website as well?
Sure, it's bridgetochange.book.com.
Perfect.
And if you go to that website and you make a purchase to Amazon, you can get some free gifts that are on the website as well.
Even better. With the holidays coming up, why not? And what do you have in store for 2021? Anything you want to bring up quickly before we
Sure.
go?
So 2021, I am going to be launching the speaking part of my business. I'm going to be expanding to do some keynote speaking. And I want to focus very much on what's very near and dear to me, and that's healthcare professionals, right? So I'm going to help healthcare professionals to create balance in their life by really winning that battle between, you know, their selflessness and sometimes that selfishness that gets in the way, and in preventing burnout. And that's really like a full unmasking. We've all been masked up for so long.
I know.
I'm going to help healthcare providers and healthcare workers to unmask their true selves so that they can avoid burnout and create balance and live more successfully.
Beautifully said. Tom Marino, please give us your website, phone number, email, anything, for our listeners to contact you.
Absolutely. So you can reach me at 516-588-0750. That's 516-588-0750. You could text or call, and monarchlifecoaching.com. And you can email me at tmarino@monarchlifecoaching.com.
Beautiful. Well, thank you for the conversation today. Happy holidays to you and your family, and a happy new year. And I really hope you all reach out. A Bridge to Change. Don't forget to pick it up. Tom Marino, always a pleasure.
Thank you, Jill, and have a great holiday.
You too. Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, here it is. The most listened to radio show on the planet. Even the other stations are tuned in too.
You're listening to Business Talk Radio, where we take business to the next level.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house. And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned. This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.